Hello everyone, I'm candidate master Atul Dahale and welcome to my Incredible Chess channel. Today I'm going to show you a very interesting game played by Dr. Tarrasch way back in 1889. Yes, this is a very famous classical game played by Tarrasch. Many people know about Dr. Tarrasch that he was a very renowned player of that time. He played against Tennis and Zuckerberg and all those top players at that time. And the most important thing about Tarrasch is like his opening development. One opening is named after him, and today we are going to see a very interesting game, so let's go through it. Before we go further, I would like to say that don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you are new here. So let's begin. Tarrasch was white. He played d4. His opponent Kirchner was black. He played d5, c4, d capture c4. This is the Queen's Gambit accepted. E3 has been played. Now there are multiple options in this position. Knight f6, e6, e5, all these options are there, but black decided to play bishop f5. Okay, now after bishop f5 there are some threats which will be there. The pawn on b7 is a weakness, plus when queen f3 is played, the pawn on f7 can also be a weakness, but white decided to capture on c4, attacking the pawn on f7 and keeping an eye on b7, because now a very important move, queen b3, is always there in the air, putting pressure. So black was active about this thing. He decided to play e6, defending against everyone, but still white decided to play queen b3, and the knight is not steadily developed. The pawn on b7 is under attack, so what to do? There are different alternatives in this position. You can play b6, but that will lead to a little bit awkward position after d5, because this diagonal will be opened. If you capture it, then after bishop captures d5, c6 is almost forced and the pawn on f7 will be lost, because if you don't do that thing, the rook on a8 is hanging, so that's also not that great. Queen c8 is a possibility, but I will say like it is almost related to the game, and the pawn on e6 is going to be a weakness after f3 followed by e4, which is also played in the game. Okay, in the game bishop e4 was played. Black is trying to attack the pawn on g2 and support the pawn on b7, but this allowed white to play f3 immediately, kicking this bishop away. The bishop went back to c6 square, and now white wants to play e4 followed by d5, controlling the center. But before you play e4, you need to support the pawn on d4 square. So that's why he plays knight to e2, supporting the pawn on d4. Okay, fair enough. I hope that you are understanding the sequence and the ideas behind the moves. That's what I am trying to tell you. So if you are enjoying this video, guys, don't forget to like this video and watch it till the end, because there is a very crucial moment in the game where everything is going to change and black is going to get checkmated. Okay, so let's continue. Knight f6, then he pushes the pawn as per the plan, and now here the pawns are ready to be pushed forward. White is having great control in the center of the board, and all these things happened because knight went to the e2 square, supporting the pawn on d4. So guys, always remember, when you are following some plan, follow it till the end. Don't just break it. Understand why you are playing certain move, why that move should be played and everything. Okay, black played bishop to e7, and then d5 is something which we want to play, but we cannot really play d5 at this position because black is having 4 pieces controlling the d5 square. So that's why Tarrasch played knight c3, further centering the d5 breakthrough. Okay, queen c8 was played in this position, supporting the pawn on b7. Let's suppose you castle in this position. What is the matter? The point is, d5 is a very strong move. After e captures d5, the bishop needs to move somewhere, and then the pawn on b7 will be lost, and you cannot really capture on d5, okay, because that will just be a lost piece. That's not something which you would like to do. So that's why here he played queen c8, supporting the pawn on b7 and making some room on d7 for the bishop. Here Tarrasch went on to play d5, e captures d5, e captures d5, bishop to d7, and now this is a very crucial movement. This is what I was talking about. This bishop and the queen are in the same diagonal. The pawn is in front of them, but they are attacking, means the bishop and the queen, the battery is still there, and the pawn on f7 is a weakness. Can you guess what Tarrasch played in this position? I hope that you have understood. He played d6 move, opening up the bishop's diagonal, attacking the bishop on e7 as well as the c7 pawn. So here he is almost forced to capture the pawn on d6, bishop captures on f7. King f8 is a possibility, but in that case the rook on h8 will not be coming in the game so soon. So that's why he decided to play king to d8. But by playing king to d8, the king is going to be under fire on the d file. So what to do? We need to get the rook on d1 square, but we want to do it with a tempo. So Tarrasch thought about these things and he decided to play bishop to g5 in this position, pinning the knight in this case and preparing for rook to d1. Well, in this position, knight c6 was played. Now Tarrasch thought, if I play rook to d1 directly in this position, it will not be that much useful because this bishop on d6 is still there. What if this bishop is on e7 square? Then bringing the rook on d1 will be much more useful. So that's why first he included knight e4, attacking the knight on f6 square. Okay, this knight is under attack by 2 pieces, so black is almost forced to play bishop to e7. And now here in this position, first he captured on f6. If you go for long castle, immediately it will be a mistake because knight will capture on e4. If you capture the knight, then bishop will capture the bishop on g5 and it will be a free piece. Okay, and if you capture on e7 with the check, then also I think black has solved most of his problems. He can even go for bishop to e6 and he will exchange pieces. The more pieces you exchange, black will be very happy to play in the position. So that's not something Tarrasch wanted to do. He was a very clever player. Okay, so that's why he captures on f6, g captures f6, and now he brings the rook in the game by long castles. Well, the bishop on d7 is a little bit under attack. Bishop e6 is the threat, so he plays knight e5, supporting the bishop on d7 and attacking the bishop on f7. So here he brings yet another piece in the game. He plays knight f4. The idea is to play knight e6 and it's a check and mate. The king on d8 is not having any squares, so he makes sure that king is having one square here, so he plays queen to b8, and now he brings the queen in the game with queen e6. The point is, okay, the bishop on d7 is pinned and there are certain threats which will be there. Rook captures d7, knight d7 and rook d1 is the threat in the position. So here he plays rook to f8. There is no point in playing bishop d6 because that will lead to a lost position after queen f6 check. Whatever you play in this position, the rook on h8 will be lost and soon it will be a checkmate after this move. It's just a checkmate. The bishop cannot even move in that position. So here he plays rook to f8. And now he captures the pawn on f6. There are multiple ways to win this position. Black is just lost. Okay, he plays bishop to d6. Of course, you cannot capture on f6 because queen f6 check, king c8, and okay, you can just capture here on e5. And if you capture it back, then queen h8 is going to lead to a check and mate position very soon. Okay, that's not something which black would like to play. So here black decided to play bishop to d6. And now knight captures on d7, knight captures on d7, and after rook h e1, black decided to throw in the tower. He decided to resign the game. I'll just show you what happens. Let's suppose he plays a6 in this position, then queen e8 is the best move. After rook captures e8, rook captures e8, it is a check and mate. So that's not something which you'd like to do. If you play c6 trying to run away in this position, you can simply capture on d6, and whatever you play, queen c8, queen c7, doesn't really matter, because a simple move like rook to d1 will end the game very soon because the knight on d7 will be falling. So guys, this was the last position of the game. I hope that you enjoyed this video. This was a short but sweet game, and I always like to check classical games. So guys, if you have not watched the classical games which I have already analyzed on my channel, do watch it, check it out, and I have plenty of content on my channel. If you are looking for some chess coaching, you can contact me on my email ID, that is incrediblechessacademy@gmail.com. I have given the link of my website also at the end of the video, and keep watching the videos and support the channel. Bye bye, take care and love you all.